and gentlemen, welcome to
Ron and Fez Show.
Well, boys, I reckon this is it.
Time has come to make a choice. The fastest hour in radio.
Time's a luxury we don't have.
Only on Ron and Fez Show.
Hurry it up, now. Hurry it up. Don't wait for me. Come on, let's go.
And now, Ron and Fez.
It's the fastest hour in radio. Right here on 106.7 WJFK-FM, the Ron and Fez Show.
Ready to get this one started, Fez, because it is the fastest hour in radio, and today I'm clocking it. I'm trying to get us in the Guinness Book.
We'll keep it moving.
I'm trying to get us into the Guinness Book and out of the Guinness bottle. That would be the important thing for you and I. It's that first step that's so difficult.
Federal officials have information suggesting that Al-Qaeda has people in the U.S. and are preparing a major attack this summer. Now, Attorney General John Ashcroft and FBI Director Robert Mueller will hold a joint press conference later this afternoon to tell us about the threat.
Why don't they just do something about the threat? And you don't have to tell us, but if you hear that they're here and they're doing something, go grab them. And can you be a little more specific about where they're attacking?
One of the things they said was we need everyone to be vigilant. We need the entire American public to be watching for Al-Qaeda operatives in the U.S.
What do you think I'm doing? That's all I care about.
I'm constantly on 911. Now, I understand we're all supposed to be vigilant, but is that really my job, to keep them out of the United States of America?
No, but you can keep an eye out, Fez. You can be clocking your neighbors.
You know me, I call 911 all the time anyway. I'm constantly on the phone with emergency service.
Fez gets up in the morning, he hits 9-1, and then just keeps his thumb on a 1, just waiting for when he needs them.
I'm just watching out the window.
Yeah. But they're not really giving us any time. Like, is this Utah? Is it around here? If it's around here, I'll be watching a lot more closely.
I think they said it could be centered around some of the major events of the summer, like the political conventions, 4th of July, the World War II Memorial, which is next week.
Well, that's great. So anything that seems remotely fun, don't go to.
Yeah, that's the summer of no fun.
Yeah.
Now, they did say that Homeland Security will probably not raise the threat level to orange. We're going to stay at yellow. So,
like, who cares anyway? I don't care what color you put on. When I hear orange, I hear the new Syracuse team. That's the only thing that's orange to me. But I never get that bit where, okay, we've changed the color, so you change your alertness.
That's when people start buying plywood and duct tape and plastic sheeting.
Yeah, because that stops nuclear fallout.
It's really, really strong duct tape. So it's kind of a mixed message when they don't raise the terror level. But then they just say there's a threat.
Fez, they know that the colors mean nothing to anybody. They really don't. They don't know what to say. I don't know how they pick up things and yet don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, they
trace a call.
They always call it chatter. We've overheard chatter. And now that sounds like, you're trying to screw up a batter, like they heard it, at an Orioles game.
Yeah, my problem is when I hear chatter, I think old ladies talking. So I wouldn't pay much attention. You listen for the terrorist.
MoveOn.org launched an ad campaign that calls on Congress and President Bush to fire Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld. He is their new target at MoveOn.org.
What is this MoveOn.org? What do they even mean? I never understand them.
I don't know what the move on part means unless they mean move on from President Bush, because they're very anti-Bush on this website. And they were. I
can't imagine anyone listening to a website. Rumsfeld, we got to let you go. A website is very unhappy with you, and a lot of their users send us emails.
eBay has called for the resignation of John Ashcroft.
I just can't see, to me, if you want to do something, you got to have a building. I know these websites are cool, but I need to talk to somebody in a building, because if it's a website, it could just be a little kid in his bedroom.
Move On was one of the groups that tried to get a Super Bowl commercial, and CBS said, no, we don't run political ads during the Super Bowl.
Well, what is their whole angle? I mean, are they liberal? Are they just anti-whatever?
It seems to me like they're just anti-Bush. I don't know if they have a message of what they're for, but they really seem to be getting out there what they're against.
All right, Wonder Boy, I know you're trying to book people. Yeah. You did so great last night with dull Bible stories. Why don't you do this? You book them so we can figure out who they are.
Talk to them about who they are.
No, not you talk to them. We talk to them.
We'll talk to them about who they are.
Oh, you're just dumb as a brick.
I would like to submit your name to MoveOn.org. Let them forget about Rumsfeld and just see if we can move on to a new producer.
I go to MovingOnOver.org where George Thorogood tells me what's happening.
Is Rummy going to be able to weather the storm? I know this is only a website, but they're not the only ones.
All it takes is your boss to like you. Look how many people try to get us fired, but no, our boss likes us. So bad luck to them. I only go to Allen.org, and if I find out Allen's upset, then I worried.
This is where the problem of the fact that we keep having more pictures and more abuse stories come out of the Abu Ghraib prison, because that keeps getting linked to Rumsfeld, and every day there's another story saying prison abuse widens.
Yeah.
We find out something else about the prison.
I told you that's because it leaks out. You should have put all that stuff out one day. Now, how do you pronounce that name, Fez?
It's Abu Ghraib.
Why do you pronounce it differently than our president?
Because I pronounce it correctly. I pronounce it the way the Iraqis pronounce it. The president, I think, pronounces it ooga booga or something like that.
Hey, I think you're going to get this.
White people are so scared of black people.
In his speech the other night, he mispronounced it 3 times, but 3 different ways, where he keeps throwing in extra words in the middle of it.
Well, he also pronounced prison 3 different ways. At one time, he called it a poison.
We have a poison abuse scandal.
Is he dyslexic? Is the president dyslexic?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he is.
Why doesn't he just say that? Tom Cruise is, and everybody likes him. And no one goes, that Tom Cruise is stupid.
Then you get a People magazine story on how you've overcome it to be president.
Well, he hasn't yet. That's the problem. Tom Cruise can roll with it. The president just ignores.
Or as he calls it, Papal magazine.
Yeah, he has a problem. He thought the Pope wrote it, and he didn't want to read it.
Yeah, he has a lot of trouble with that. And with this speech that he did the other night, the speech that nobody saw, he had practiced that like 2 or 3 times to get ready to make this big, important policy speech.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just say Iraqi prison scandal. You know, when I didn't know how to pronounce it, I just said Iraqi prison.
Well, say you should be our president.
And everybody knew what I was talking about.
To me, you're president of Gaytown. And that's good enough for me.
How did I get to be president of Gaytown?
That was a unanimous vote.
Road.
They came carrying you in, and that's why every time you enter a room.
Kneel to the chief.
Oh, you mean... good.
Now, speaking of the prison abuse scandal at prison Agabugabuga, Private Lindy England wants her confessions to the prison abuse scandal to investigators thrown out because she gave them after she asked for a lawyer.
Right.
So when she sat there saying, we thought it was really, really funny, she wants all that thrown out because the lawyer she asked for wasn't present yet.
Yeah, she should have had for some reason, instead of bringing her a lawyer, they brought her a reporter. I don't know how it worked out. Again, it shows you that she's not what you'd call a really bright girl.
You know, they ought to just go along with this. Throw out her confessions, because it's not like if you get Pinhead on the stand, she isn't going to confess to it all over again. It's not like you're not able to use a Jedi mind trick on her.
I honestly think that she's just going to tell the truth. That's all. And you know what? It's bigger than her. Who cares about her? It really doesn't matter to me if they make her stay a year or 2 years in prison. It's not going to make my life any better or worse.
It's going to be getting Eugene from the WWE on the stand.
In the meantime, I'm not real comfortable with her giving birth in some 6x8 cell. I'm not that awful. Somewhere this goes higher than Pinhead.
She's second trimester now. She's 5 months pregnant.
Oh, she's just glowing. She looks beautiful. And whoever happens to be the father, you're a lucky guy.
But as the stomach gets bigger, the head gets smaller.
She can't help that. Well, at least it'll be easier for her to have a baby. That baby's just going to pop out like it was an eel. It's just going to slide out.
In Baghdad, Dr. Hussein al-Sharanani is the new...
Come on, you made that name up.
I did not.
No name goes on that long.
Shahristani is the new likely pick to be named Prime Minister of the new interim Iraqi government. So now that we got rid of Shalabai, this is the new guy, Dr. Hussein. So... is it wise to go with somebody named Hussein as the new leader we're putting in Iraq?
Try to find somebody who isn't named Hussein over there, Fezzy. Hussein is like being called Smitty. You're going to run into a lot of them.
This is a guy, he's a scientist that insisted to us that Saddam had the weapons of mass destruction and hid him in the Baghdad subway tunnels.
Now, why would we think, okay, the best person to run a country is a scientist? We don't do that in this country. Nobody thinks themselves, hey, he came up with a great invention. Let's let him run deals.
With this guy, he's the one who's still sticking with us. Chalabai started changing his story, and this scientist is still saying, yeah, there's weapons of mass destruction. Have you checked the subway tunnels?
To me, being put up prime minister of this place is like getting an elected target. It's not a job I would want. I would go, let's see a couple other people, and if they can make it through, maybe I'll try it. But I'm not going to go out there first and say, hey, look at me, I'm the big Yankee buddy.
That's got to be a phone call you don't want to get in the middle of the night. Guess what you've been picked for? No, thank you. As President Bush's poll numbers drop, radical Muslim cleric Muqtada al-Saydar's popularity grows in Iraq. 6 months ago, only 1% of Iraqis backed al-Sadr. Now 32% support him strongly, 36% support him somewhat. So this is the guy who we want. We're going after him. He's in charge of the insurgents, and he's getting more and more popular in Iraq.
More and more popular? His numbers are only 8 points away from where President Bush's numbers are in this country. If we're not careful, we're going to end up with him as our next president over here.
It's an amazing growth rate from 1% to 36% in a month.
All you got to do is be on the president's crap list, and people love you.
So 88% of Iraqis now view the U.S. as occupiers. Only 7% say we're liberators. That's hard to convince people that we're here to put in your new government.
And at the same time, the president gives us a speech trying to tell us all the exciting things are going on in Iraq, like we should care. The people that should care are going, we don't even want you here. Why is he wasting his time making speeches like this? This is some other country that doesn't want you. And yet this is 100% of where your attention goes.
This is this al-Sadr, he's wanted for killing another popular cleric. And still, it would be like us being, in favor of Lee Harvey Oswald. Like he would start gaining in popularity.
No, I mean, really, Fezzy, it's almost like you watch The Sopranos. Guys move up, sometimes by doing good business, and sometimes by whacking guys who do good business. It's just a whacking. It's not that difficult to figure out, and it's tribal. It's literally tribal. And what are we doing over there? None of us know. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll right back. It's Ron and Fez.